Hello, hello.
Hey, hola, bienvenido a,
Bienvenido.
a the Givin Trouble Show.
Yes, and we're having a lot of technical difficulties today.
It's living up to its name, that Givin
It
Trouble Show.
is living up to its name. Oh my
I am just
goodness.
Lisa, and this wonderful human beside me is Lyrics. We are feminist comedians. That is not an oxymoron. We are feminist comedians from Trinidad and Tobago, and this is our live that we are now just switching to once weekly on a Thursday at 6 p.m. So, this is
Yes.
our first try at this time. We hope we stay awake because personally, I'm usually asleep in like an hour.
Yes,
But
we are part of the early to bed crew. I feel like I'm already like dangerously close to my bedtime. I think these are tanty things. I think we're living in our tanty days.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I mean, look, I get up in the morning, I drink about a gallon of ginger tea very often. The only thing that can get me started because I'm so creaky. So I'm very much aware of my tanty status. And yeah, bedtime by 7 o'clock is perfect. And if you like bedtime by 7 o'clock, send us a little note to tell us your bedtime preferences. But how you
Yes,
doing, Gil?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a little this internet is giving a lot of trouble today, so that has me slightly stressed out. And I've been pondering, some deep questions. I'm a little intrigued because the COVID vaccine is here. And I've been asking myself, remember, we talked about this earlier. We said, when and if a vaccine is available, will you go and get it? You know? And I don't know, man. I don't know. I see they're having a lot of trouble in Europe where people in Europe are not taking the vaccine. They're like, yeah, we have the vaccine. And people are like,
Listen, if the Europeans don't want it, why on earth should the poor black people in the third world take it? Oh my God.
well, you have a sort of a situation in America now, in a particular area. I think it's in Florida, where like a politician arranged for only people in the richest zip codes to access the vaccine.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
I know
surprised.
that's a bit of a
When,
story.
so you don't think that all the big celebrities and Hollywood people, you didn't think they got a vaccine already? All of them get it?
And then
All
just
of
get
them
a
get it?
normal vaccine.
Please.
It have a super powerful.
They get the special, extra special dose. But
The
no, but
Illuminati vaccine.
seriously, there are, I mean, months ago we first had this conversation on the show, and my perspective has not changed. I do not feel convinced as a human and as a human of color living in the
Mhm.
so-called third world that
Yes.
that we are in a position to really push back against some of the possible ramifications of taking an untested, unproven, completely random, they know what the ass is going to happen to you in 5 years after this vaccine. I don't want it. I don't want it. I mean, I've been very frank. I might sound backward and whatever, but I don't want it. I have two words for you. Tuskegee, experiment
Tuskegee.
fucking meant. That's two words.
You put some extra ones in there. You put some extra ones in there. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's very Tuskegee experiment. Now I know here on YouTube, we can't see any views yet, but we actually have 4 viewers on Facebook. So we want to say hi to you guys. Thanks so
Hello.
much for
Hola.
joining us. Yeah. And I'm keeping track of the comments. So Malika Best saw your comment. Yes. Let me tell you, I take the vaccine because I just need to come home sooner rather than later. Oh, Malika, you're out there, girl. You're out there. So she wants to take it so she could come home. And this kind of love you, girl. And this kind of goes to like another question, Is it going to be, because there's dystopian novels about this, eh? There are dystopian novels
Totes.
about, well, about people who take the vaccine and people who don't take the vaccine. And you have like a divergent in the society because some people are vaccinated and some people are not. So do we create like a subclass of the unvaccinated? They can't get a job unless you're vaccinated. You can't go to this place unless you're vaccinated. You can't travel unless you're vaccinated. It's an interesting questions come up.
Well, I don't think those are questions. I think those are, in fact, things that will happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, they will have to. I think in the medium term, as people begin now, I mean, all this is academic for me. Nobody can offer me no damn vaccine. I'm not old enough. I'm not sick enough. I'm not
Yeah.
fat enough. I ain't
Yeah.
diabetic. My pressure not high enough. I'm not one of the people who at risk. And I mean, I spend my whole day locked in an apartment. I'm not a high risk person. I'm not one of the first ones that'd be like, Miss Lady, come and get your shot. You know what I mean? I'm on nobody's priority list.
I hear
So,
you.
and nobody be rushing for me to get the vaccine. So, but
Yeah.
I presume later on in the year, it will be like, okay, all the non-essential people come and get all your vaccines. And then I will
Non-
have to make a real decision.
You think of
And
yourself as non-essential?
I'm not an essential worker. I have
No.
no, I mean, well, in my home, I'm an essential worker, but outside there in the world, I'm not an essential worker.
Well, I think your new book, The Bread the Devil Need, is essential reading. And guys, I want you to head over to Lisa's page there on Facebook and check out her book. She had a nice little photo shoot with some wonderful pictures. Who's your photographer again? I don't want to mispronounce her
Paula
name.
Obey.
Paula Obey took some beautiful pictures of Lisa. Unfortunately, the internet is giving me too much beans today. It's too hard for me to share clips. It's just sticking. I was trying to do it, but it wasn't working out at all. So I just want to say, go check out Lisa's book, The Bread the Devil Need. It's a beautiful. You need to read it. Okay. All right.
Thank you. She's so kind. And let me return the favor. This beautiful creature is actually a producer and director. And her company, the Brown Cotton Outreach, is restaging their show, The Revenge of King Jab Jab, on the 6th and 7th
Sixth
of
and seventh.
March
Yes, of
at the
March.
Carib Theatre in Port of Spain. So, check it out. It was a great hit. The first run was really
Yeah,
successful, I understand. And
it
so
went really well.
they thought it was so nice, they'd do it twice.
Yes, we take the chin up. Don't let it be in vain. Come buy some tickets.
And it's an almost all woman cast and crew.
It's
Almost. I
really
think
close.
there's like one
We're
guy in it.
really, yeah, we're really close to being a almost all woman cast. And the guy in it is my husband, um, Wayne Leasing. He's also the writer of the show. So
Mhm.
I think if any man gets to be in the show, it's him. And we're also we also
Yeah.
have a
Oh yeah, it's
new.
only because he's fucking the director. Okay, let's
Well,
just
there
be
you go,
frank.
right? He
That
exchanged
is
him
the
at the
casting
table.
couch.
So we met. I was like, "You want to be in this show? Tell me how much you want it, baby."
Put
I'm
out,
the
baby.
Harvey
Put out.
Weinstein of theater in Trinidad, right?
Oh my God. No,
That was
we're totally kidding. We don't support sex for favors.
Hey, look who came over to YouTube to say hi.
Hey
Hi,
Sean!
Sean.
Hola!
Yes,
Hola! Bienvenido!
YouTube shall never be the same, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Sean is so cute. I
He's
just want to bite
wonderful.
him.
And he's like an amazing artist. Like I've been following him. He has like some really, really interesting work that he's doing. We need to talk to Sean on our business head, Sean. We need to talk to you on our business head. Your illustrations intrigue me. All
He's,
right, I love you.
he's a very good illustrator. I can testify to that. I actually hired him. I had a magazine I was editing a couple of years ago, and I had him to do some illustrations. He's very good, very talented, and very
Very,
timely.
very talented. So go check out his work, guys. If you can hire him, please hire him. We can't afford to right now, but as soon as we can, we will. All right. So we're really having a good time today, right? It's International Women's Day is coming up. I'm having a show about it. Lisa has a book coming out that deals with issues that are, very close to the lives of women, gender-based violence, what it's like to be a woman dealing with that. My show has an almost all-woman cast, and we've included some elements of International Women's Day. But today, we're going to be debating and we're going to be talking about something very, very serious. Okay, we're talking about women's rights. And Lisa?
Yes, and specifically women's right to flatulence.
To
Because you know what?
flatulence.
For too long, we have been denied the opportunity, in fact, the right to really rip a big, loud stink fart in public
You
because women don't do them
understand?
things.
Yes, yes. This is the trope. This is what they would have you believe, that women do not fart. Yet, I am a human. Lisa, are you a human? Show me any human who does not fart. And I
Did
will
you put
show
me on the
you.
spot when you asked me if I'm a human? The training manuals didn't cover this. Oh my God. I should write HR and tell them, you didn't say I had to say I was a human. Yeah, no, I mean, look,
Gotcha.
it is a part of no. So, like, as you're eating, you swallow air, and
Yes.
also the processes of digestion create gases. So your
Right.
body is full of
That's
gas,
right. Yes.
and you can't just keep it in you. You're gonna explode, and it's
It's
very
impossible.
painful. If you ever
But do
try to
you, do
squeeze
you
up,
know? Yeah. Do you
God,
know
it's
what
the worst.
happens when you hold a fart? Do you know what
No, tell
happens
me.
scientifically when you hold a fart? Right. The fart, or as you say, the flatulence, right, goes back up into your body and diffuses into your lungs and then comes out your mouth.
That does not sound pleasant.
It's not. That is not cool. It is better that the fart comes out where it's supposed to come out. Yet, and and we talked about this a little bit when we were getting ready for this episode. So many women do not feel that they have the right to fart. I know women who will not fart in front of their husbands. They will not, right? Right? Lisa's like me, right? I know women who will not fart in public, or even talk about it or admit that they do it when it is a fact that we all fart, you know?
It is. And that whole thing about the fart coming out in your breath, that explains so much. There's some people who I'm like, I smell their breath and I'm like, something isn't right. But now this puts, I mean, the context, it's just like everything makes so much sense. I just need to tell them, stop squeezing. Do
Stop
not squeeze.
squeezing.
Just let
That
it
is the
go.
hashtag that we need to carry forward from today. Hashtag for all women. This is our International Day, Women's International. International. Oh, good. Are you struggling, boy? This is
It's
our.
because 6 o'clock is too late for your old ass. It's 6 in the morning when you don't wake up and you're fresh. I know who you're lying to, trying to tell people you awake at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. Jesus Lord.
Listen to me. Listen to me now. Okay?
I'm listening, man.
6 o'clock is a good time. People are home. They will watch the show at 6 o'clock. Maybe not yet, but we'll get them. Okay? So the question is, for International Women's Day, we should be discussing taboos that women face, that women are dealing with. as light-hearted as it might sound to be talking about farts and pupsing and all of this sort of thing, we really need to start getting into the fact that we are full human beings with, all kinds of different parts and aspects, and starting to accept that. Because the kind of embarrassment or mortification a woman might feel when she's caught, farting, that could impact somebody very negatively. And if we destigmatize these very normal things, because it kind of comes down to unrealistic uh, gender
Gender expectations.
expectation. It's unrealistic. You're right. 6 o'clock is too late. My brain is done. Um,
There was a reason the show was at noon. That's all I'm saying. And
I
this was not
might
my
have to
decision.
carry back the show to noon, on a Thursday, because you.
No,
I
man,
think
give it a chance. You're just not
yes, let's give
accustomed.
it a chance. We want to have an evening show with an evening vibe. So, we just have to make the show a little more smoky, a little more sexy, So,
I would
Lisa,
make the show a little more smoky, except I have weed but no cigarettes. And I'm a Trini, and so we believe and we roll on.
I done with
So,
roll-ons,
no, stop it.
I done with roll-ons. I done with
Stop it, you
roll-ons.
anathema. I can't talk to you. What
No, I
kind of behavior is that? What you mean you're done with roll-ons?
because cigarettes just so bad. I had to stop cigarettes. That's why.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I went and get a
Yeah.
checkup, and the doctor was like, mm-mm. And I was like, okay. Mm. We getting into that age, Lisa. We heading for Tanty. I mean,
I
you.
said a tanty already from here. My card. Let me get my tanty card.
I am not a Tanty yet. You
I
get
said
your
card.
Tanty card
Carrying tanty.
and go your way, my girl. I am not a Tanty yet, right?
No, I'll tell you, I claim that tanty status preemptively because what happened is that I had
You are
kids very
premature
young.
Tanty. That's what you're trying to say.
A preemptive tanty. It was like the first strike because what happened is my children big, right? My oldest is 27, going on 28. The youngest is 20, going on 21. And so their peers started watching me in a certain kind of way. So I say, you see that? No. My name is Auntie Lisa to you. Auntie Lisa.
Oh, so
So
this
you
was
have
like
big
this was
man and
like
woman walking around calling me Auntie Lisa.
that's because so what he's saying is you were a young mom, right? And you will give milk to your children's peers. So you preemptively took on the role of auntie so that you could make sure and create that distance so that there would be no impropriety, you know the word,
No
nonsense.
impropriety.
No impropriety. There you go. Right? See, Sean says we're giving
Tanties
trouble.
after that.
Tanties after dark.
I love it,
I like it.
It,
I
it sure
like it,
is.
son. I
Who
do
did
like
that?
it is that. I set up a whole light. I was like, not me. But you have a light too. You look good.
Yeah, I have two. I have two lights, one on that side and one on that side. I really was meant to buy a ring light, but didn't get around to it. And every time I get the money, I just spend it. So
You see, we ready for evening things. Look at you, look at me. Yeah, we could do this thing. As Sean said, tanties after dark.
yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but back to that, the whole question of the preemptive strike where I declare, look, I am a tanty, but I also feel like when you become what we consider a tanty, which would be an older woman with a kind of so like what you lose in sort of sexual appeal, you gain in community power and esteem. So the older woman you are, the more the community respects and values you. Whether you was
Yeah.
an old hoe and when you was young, it don't matter. Now you're an old hoe and you're old. So now you are Miss Old Hoe.
So
Yes?
so so does one, if one was a young old who, right? And
Mm-hmm.
now one is an older old who. So you are
Mm-hmm.
a Miss Old Who,
Mm-hmm.
right? Does one still get to hoe? Because I think that is the central question of those who are resistant tantyism, is that it is the expectation that when you're tanty, you have to hang up your thong and pick up your bingo bag and just overs. Is that a
Well, in
real
the first
thing?
place, tongue's very bad for your mukumsplanks. So avoid tongues at all costs. Bingo bags are liberation, true
I
liberation.
hear you.
But
Faye is watching and she says, wait until you get called ma'am. Have you been called ma'am? I haven't been called ma'am
please,
yet,
please, I've been called ma'am for years.
You've been called, people still call me miss. I can't remember the last time I've been called ma'am. But
I even
I'm
got a sir
sure I've
once
been called
actually.
ma'am. I'm sure I've been called ma'am. Right?
When I used to cross dress as a young person, I more than once got mistaken for a boy. I could never understand it, but it did happen. So I've been
Yes.
called sir, ma'am, tanty, moms, sis, as you get sis. Um,
Sis.
mhm. But 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 this whole question of claiming your tantyhood, I think tantyhood is a very powerful thing. When you become a tanty, right? You could fart in public,
Hmm.
you
So
could
you think,
smoke in
you think,
public.
so you think, so you think tanties are actually liberated from a lot of taboo behavior that's considered taboo for women, because tanties
Hmm.
could go to bed, tanties could go to bed,
That's
right?
one of the major reasons that I'm trying to establish my tanty identity is so that I can let the thing grow out because it's so frustrating. I'm always like singing and trying to.
Well, you
It's
could.
like the worst.
I don't know. Like, what's your goal? You want to be the bearded lady at the circus? Was your,
I could audition for that
yeah,
role.
yeah.
When this shit grows out, it is very,
Oh, so
very
your
circus
beard
like.
is. So when your beard grows, you think it will connect? Men just love stuff when their beard
Nah,
connected.
nah.
Because
It's more like a
there's
little
no
patch.
patches.
It's like a little patch. It's like a goatee. It's kind of like a goatee. But
Yeah.
but no, but this whole question of I went what can and can't a woman do? Like what
Yeah.
looks bad? I was somewhere the other day and the guys were all hanging out in one corner smoking cigarettes. And I went to another corner and lit a cigarette. You believe one of them men, one of them big hardback man, walked from where he was to come over by me and tell me, um, Lisa, that looking bad, eh? I just thought I'd let you know.
I know, right?
I said to him, you know what? I want to invite you to bend over and pucker up and kiss my. Because you know what? You was just smoking over there. Just smoking over here. How dare you come and tell me that I can't smoke? That's my right. If I want to kill myself, that is my right. My
And it
human
was
right.
bothering him so much. He came over and told you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take it. I can't take it. It's like how men try to help you park. I don't know who needs to hear this, but no woman, unless she wind down the window and say, "Excuse me, can you just tell me how far I am from the car behind me there, please?" No woman wants help parking her car. Okay, none
I,
of us.
I'm not to give trouble, but that is my brand. But when I first learned to drive, I could not park at all.
Right?
You know how many times I went to Lime and thing and yes, man, people had to come and park my car for me
Yes,
because I could
yes.
not understand parallel parking. I'd get very confused and
Well, I've parallel parked for guys like new drivers who are a little nervous about it, and I say, "Well, let me park it for you." Like if I'm working on a shoot or something, I'll end up doing things like that. Helping people park who might be shaky drivers and so. But to me, that's a male thing. That's a female thing. I wouldn't say it's exclusively like a female issue. That's my perspective on that. So I think it's a two-way thing, but I find men are overly intrusive when I am trying to park. They're like, "Oh, let me help you, family," and I'm like, "No, I'm fine. Just lock your wheel. Just lock your wheel, darling. Lock your wheel." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't need." And they're actually flustering me. They're confusing me. They sometimes they stand behind the car and they're like, and they really think they're communicating so
They
well.
really, they just want to be helpful, the poor
I
souls.
completely understand that, but we getting into a new era of gender relations. We getting into a new thank God, we're getting into a new era of gender relations. All right. So it's
Tell me
time for
about that new era.
well, don't you know about the new era of gender relations?
I must have been inside because, I'm a hermit. I don't get out
Did
much.
you miss the
Explain it to me.
memo? So, in this new era of gender relations, we have younger men, younger women negotiating sex, negotiating relationships very differently to, let's say, our generation and up, the older generation. All right. They are saying things like, I think I'm pansexual, I'm attracted to the person, not the gender. They're looking at kind of polyamorous unions where it's two and three and four of them in a relationship together. They're looking at having, instead of the traditional nuclear family of getting married to a man or a woman or whatever the combination, they're actually forming households of friends. We have 4 or 5 people who are platonic friends who might or might not have kids, where they put up together to purchase a home, purchase a property, and then everyone kind of lives there together and they negotiate it. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of danger and toxicity in traditional marriage rules and those kind of expectations. And it's interesting to me to see, young people stepping outside of those boundaries and recognizing they do have to do these things. Young people telling themselves straight up, I'll never get married, or it's not something I feel like I have to do. I don't feel like I have to have kids. I'll get a dog. It's exciting and refreshing, and I think it could save the world.
It's an interesting development. I mean, my own daughter lives in a shared home with like a house with about 4 different roommates. And it's one way to live a life. She seems happy, they seem happy, and I think, having comfort and safety is priority.
Yeah.
However, I
However,
mean, I and all my friends, and this is my position for years, and this is not a new thing. About when my younger one was about 5 or so,
mm,
and I realized that her dad was just not ever gonna be part of the picture.
yeah,
I decided, I wanted a partner with whom to raise her. I really started to look, and to spiritually like set myself up to say, well, I really want a partner. And everybody was like, I don't understand why you think you need a man. When I was gonna get married to my second husband, I had a sister who was like, why? But I honestly do believe,
she's like, why? Why would you
yeah,
want to have one of these things in the house with you? What's
yeah. She's
wrong
like,
with
why? You
you?
best kid, girl, you best kid.
I
You
agree
know,
with her. You're like, you got away. I'm
no,
just,
but I really, I mean, I feel that um while I don't think it's the only way to have a family, I feel very strongly that children need to understand that there are men and there are women. You're gonna be like, oh, gender roles, and I'm like, yeah, gender roles. There are men and there are women, and that um, you can have a relationship without destroying one another and without making making so like you can form a relationship that is healthy, respectful, and that the thing you see on TV about men all beating women or men like killing women, or those things don't have to be like a part of your immediate reality. You can have
Yeah.
a family where there are men and there are women, and the men and the women get along, work together for the upliftment of everybody. And I
Yeah.
really wanted her to have a model of a man in her house that she could say,
Yeah.
yeah, this is my father, and this man,
Mm.
he's a good man, he's respectful, he's a hard worker,
Even the
he's
dogs
whatever.
agree.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
you
That's really
know,
cool, Lisa.
that
Thank
was
you
my
so much for
perspective. My
sharing.
friends thought I was crazy. Hadrian,
No,
hush.
no, I think it's good for you to share that because we do have that kind of weird reverse stigma now. So it's like if you do want that traditional life or you want to have to get married now, it's like why you want to do that? What's wrong with you?
Something's
So
wrong with you.
it's so interesting how we've kind of gone in the other direction as well. So I mean this thing is a funny, strange kind of road.
Thorny. Thorny.
Funny. So on that note, we've been here for half an hour, and we're
We
trying to
did
spend
it.
our time. This is a half-hour show, but I
And
have to
we're
share
awake.
just two comments from Sean, who is kind of like our third person. I mean, he's the guy, right? Sean is like, no one is attracted to anyone who says "lock your wheel, darling." Thank you, Sean. That is very true. And he also shared, some of us had father figures as examples of what not to be like. So, I mean, I feels you there, Sean. I feels you there. All right. So, guys, remember the show is on Facebook and on YouTube. This week we spent more time, we interfaced more with the YouTube channel. So we only saw comments from there, but next week we'll be interfacing through the Facebook channel, and we'll be using you'll be interfacing with us that way as well. But you can also see us on YouTube at the same time. We're out here figuring it out, being bosses, not so, Lisa?
Bouse bitch. Hashtag bouse bitch.
Boss bitches. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So just to remind you, you can call 686-9965 or check out Brown Cotton Outreach on Facebook to get tickets to see The Revenge of King Jab Jab play mass with Shakespeare for International Women's Day. And you can also follow Lisa on Facebook as well as Femcom to find out how you can get your copies of her latest book, The Bread the Devil Need. Very interesting stuff. So, guys, join us next week, Thursday, right here in the same place and time, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, and have some fun with us for just a half hour. Lighten your life, lighten your soul. Thanks so much for viewing. Lisa?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to take this thing off here. It's not that easy. Okay, this is very complex. Okay,
Sorry. I could only laugh because it's not me doing it.
this is you'll have no idea. Okay,
Just unplug the computer.
right?
Unplug
And
the
run.
computer.
A mosquito biting now. What kind of thing? If you see the mosquito, how fat? You'll have no idea. All right. Bye bye.